Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G. We are in his house. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're talking about Trump, and he has done it again, ladies and gentlemen. Trump has done it again. Boy, I tell you, man, this guy here has won so many times in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ain't no joke. But when you have a strong team of patriots and know the Constitution, and the Supreme Court judges are supposed to hold the Constitution, right? The highest court in the land, which is the Supreme Court. And luckily, we have a majority even in the Supreme Court. You know what I'm saying? And things. So I like to give a shout out to the Supreme Court on the on the MAGA right, which is the MAGA Republicans. Make America great. Not these old rhino Republicans that serve the Democrats, right? Not those disgusting, vile people that we want to call Republicans, right? Not them at all. And you know my feelings on the left. You already know. You already know, ladies and gentlemen. But Trump and his remarkable accomplishments of making America great again. It's a beautiful thing. He coined the phrase make America great again. He's an excellent marketer too. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this we never seen a president that have accomplished and won so many times. He even said it. Trump said it. Donald President Donald J. Trump said it. What did he say? He said that people are going to be so tired of winning. He said the Republicans are going to be so tired of winning so much. If you were to put, let's say, the score when it come down to Trump, Trump have won so many times. I lost track. I don't even know how many times Trump been victorious. Victorious. He has a winning streak unlike any other president in our presidency. This is a hard act to follow, following President Donald J. Trump. You know, this is a man that have made promise on his promises. A promise kept is, like you said, a promise made is a promise kept. And he ran on that back in 2016. People did not know what this man was capable of doing. He was just looked up on as a businessman and a Hollywood actor. That's pretty much what he was. Popularized, let's say if we were to go back to the WWE days, been in rapper videos and everything, everybody loved Trump so much before he ran in the political arena. And when Trump ran in the political arena, ladies and gentlemen, what ended up happening, right? He ran in the political arena, right? And then not only he ran in the political arena, you know what I'm saying? Not only that he ran in the political arena, ladies and gentlemen, but we already are seeing how Trump, right? This man, Donald J. Trump, right? It's just remarkable. It's amazing. I didn't have any doubt regarding the shutdown, even because when we look at things, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, the Democrats caved, 8 of them, which I'm happy. John Fetterman was on that list, and there was quite a few others. There was 7 others that was on that list as well. That they say he caved. I don't call it caving. What I call is common sense. These 8 Democrats should be saluted and congratulated for what they have done because it was beyond politics and they knew it. Their party has been radicalized so much. Their party has been radicalized. And now that it has been radicalized to the point that it's going to the far left, ladies and gentlemen. The far left. It's not the left, but the far left, right? I mean, violence coming from the left as well. They're trying to create, they've been creating insurgencies in this country against Trump. And when you look at what did Trump really do, they keep saying that this guy is bad for democracy. He was being called a Hitler. And I looked at his policies. I looked at what he did for the country. Trump stopped the illegal alien invasion into America. It wasn't that long ago when our borders was invaded, crime up the wazoo. They even had Aurora, Colorado under siege. Chicago, right? They had dangerous gang violence. We're talking about Trinidad Alagra and MS-13, two of the most dangerous criminal gangs throughout the United States, going back to South America and things like that. So these are two of the most dangerous gangs that Trump declared them as I believe, as a terrorist, just like he have declared Antifa as a terrorist as well too. These are the things that Trump wasn't afraid of attacking. Trump ain't never been afraid of the Democratic so-called elites. Trump battled them head to head and won, and he's still winning. This is why they're so mad and pissed off. This is why you see Antifa here, but not to worry. Trump has the majority of the people in America on his side. Trump has the military, and he reminds the military, you know, remember your oath. And I'm saying the same thing. Military people, remember your oath. Whether you ex-military or in the military, you all took an oath to protect this country and to make sure it's not being overran by foreign or domestic. Remember your oath, people that are military. Remember your oath. That's all I'm going to keep saying, right? So getting back to Trump, right? The mass deportation in the world have ever seen. Trump and ICE and DHS, right? We're talking about federal and we're talking about National Guards and so forth, right? That are coming into these cities, cleaning them up as well. We're talking about Chicago, right? That's on the brink of being cleaned up. We're talking about DC that has been cleaned up. We're talking about Memphis, Tennessee that has been cleaned up as well. These particular cities, and there are many more. I think it's a total of 19 cities that Trump has his target on to make sure that these cities are clean, where where the citizens in those cities that deserve to be protected and to deserve to have quality life like everyone else, right? Trump did this on his administration, right? This is a guy that took action, wasn't talk. When you heard it from the Democrats, the Demo KKK rats, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard opposite of what Trump is doing. They let the violence escalate, escalate, escalate to get more funding in these cities, right? Now look at what ended up happening though. You know, I grew up in the black community. All I saw in these inner cities was crime, violence, drugs, prostitution, burglary, theft, and so forth. All this stuff happened in these so-called pretty democratic cities. They're not pretty. They allowed this to happen, and a person like Trump allowed it not to happen, ladies and gentlemen. He even said what he was going to do. Look at what he was going to do, you know? Trump, ladies and gentlemen, is a man of his word. Trump carried out a policy that was for America, right? Trump not only carried out his policy, kept his promise. I mean, look at what the wonderful things that we're doing. And it's steady picking up traction, trying to stop this man. They're trying to, I mean, even with the Obama scam, the what we call the Affordable Care Act, which is nothing more than Obama type of stuff. Look what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. The so-called Affordable Care Act, right? Which is a scam, right? More and more people are talking about this scam and how Obama enriched himself off of Obamacare. It was the biggest scam ever, right? This is another thing, though, right? And the Dems are doubling down on the Affordable Care Act, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the type of lunacy that they've been trying to push. They don't have any other options other than to create a real insurrection. All of this is a real insurrection. That's the only thing they have left. And they're not going to be successful in that because, once again, Trump has the ear of the people in America, and he also has the ear of the people around the world. He also has the military, ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier. So how are the deep state leftist lunatics are going to stop him? They can't. They can't. All this rhetoric, because they are the ones, right? They already retired Nasty Pelosi, right? They retired her ASS, right? And she needed to be out of there. You know, people that sit over here for over 40 years as a senator and so forth, there's no reason in the world, man, to be in Senate that long. They're in Senate, right? And look at the situation. A lot of them is corrupt as fuck. You know, that goes without even saying. Bernie, I can't wait for his ass for them to retire his ass up on out of there. All these old guards need to go. We need to put term limits on this stuff. 6 years for a senator. It should not go on this long, ladies and gentlemen. They're not doing a great job. They're doing a great job for corruption because they had every opportunity to do the right thing for the people. Remember, the Congress people and the people in the Senate, we have the House of Representatives, we have Congress. They are representations for who? The people. They're supposed to represent us. We are the government. We the people, not Congress. Those are representation of government, right? We are the people. We the people. We are the government, ladies and gentlemen. And Trump understands that. This is one of the greatest things that Trump said that I remember to this day when he ran on his campaign promise. I'm taking the power away from government and giving it back to the hands of the people. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most epic of his political career when Trump said that. And you can rest assured, you can see it yourself. You ain't never heard a president to say what Trump have said when it come down to him saying, I'm taking the power away from government and giving it back to the hands of the people. That's profound for Trump saying that. Trump said that, ladies and gentlemen, and the crowd erupted, right? And I remember hearing his speech, right? These are the things right here, right? No matter if you care or not, Trump is the greatest president. You can't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about it. The Dems have lost. They have no power, ladies and gentlemen. And they send their bots and minions in these rooms, which none of us are afraid of it at all. Because here's the thing about it. They cannot defeat what I was saying. All this time, they cannot defeat the things and the campaign promises Trump ran on. It's just silly name calling, bullshit, not actual or factually true. Everything I said about Trump is 100%. You can go and look it up in any thing outside of Chat GPT, even though they got to be right, because if they misquote him and say things that he didn't say, they'll just go back and sue him. So they got to stand on a higher stat or a higher ethic, is what I'm saying. You know, just like ABC found out, right? And who's the other? 60 Minutes found out. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'll be careful. You know, because like I said, Trump is the man of the people. He's a people's president, right? And Trump stands for peace. Look at the bullshit with Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, Jim Crow Joe, a known racist that spoke for at a eulogy of Robert Byrd, which was a known Klansman. They don't talk about stuff like this, ladies and gentlemen. They come in here trying to discredit Trump. You can't discredit Trump. Trump has a winning record and broke the Democrats' back. You see what I'm saying? Now that the shutdown is no more, Trump is steady winning, and the Dems are steady what? Losing. They come in here getting all upset, all disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? Trump holds all the cards. He always have. Trump has the leverage. The Dems do not. Look at the pitiful look on Hakeem Jeffries' face and Chuck Schumer. They got a civil war going on in the Democratic Party, which is a bunch of weak nothings, right? Look at how they tremble. Look at how they are discombobulated. They can't even put two sentences together, and then lied about this Affordable Care Act bullshit, right? Just like the bullshit with Obamacare. Bullshit. And as we already are finding out, that Obama has been enriching himself off the backs of the people through this bullshit Obamacare. Everything with the Democrats is bullshit, right? So you can miss me with this, whoever you are to come in my room talking all this bullshit and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Talking about this is a bunch of bullshit. You a bunch of bullshit. Because we winning and you lost. You have no footing whatsoever. You don't even have the ear of the people. Trump does. Just because you don't see a massive amount of people out here protesting, you know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. 77 million people voted for Trump, not Kamala Harris. That dodo bird. Are you kidding me, Alki? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all can miss me with that. She ain't even relevant. That's why I don't even talk about her. None of them on the left is relevant. Trump is relevant. And this is a Trump channel. We on the Trump train. I wear the Trump MAGA cap, right? This is the greatest president that we have had in our lifetime. Make no mistakes about it, right? I don't have to debate shit at this point because we hold the leverage and you do not on the left. You either gonna get in line or move the fuck out of America. That's your choice. That's your choice. Because we're not gonna accept this Antifa bullshit, this insurgency shit that you're trying to push. We're not gonna accept it. See, I'm not one of these type of I'm not one of these conservatives. I know how to fight back. You keep in mind, I grew up in a black neighborhood in a Democratic blue state. And I give you back the same medicine you give me. You come in here being hostile, I'm going to be hostile back towards you. I'm not afraid to fight, right? And I don't mind getting dirty either. You never played by the rules, so why should we play by the rules? You see what I'm saying? Our rules is going to be for the betterment of this country, not for enriching themselves. Trump was already a billionaire. He could have rested in the shade like the rest of the billionaires. He decided not to. He ran against tyranny. We've been ripped off in America for a very long time by these asshole ass politicians. You come in my room being disingenuous. Yeah, you can have an opinion, but your opinion is you have a stupid opinion. That means you don't know shit. Stop watching MSNBC and ABC and all the rest of them. Trump has taken back America already and steady advancing. And no Democrat on the left, liberal, can stop it. You cannot stop the Trump train. The train is steady moving. You either gonna get on the train and get the fuck out of America, right? That's gonna be your options. We're not taking no prisoners no more with these old lame ass, leftist ass liberals. All they know how to do is run their mouth and insult people. I'm gonna meet you where you meet me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking the high road, right? I'm not turning the other cheek. You bring that violence towards me, it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? And that's for any of them, right? Because we have a right, Second Amendment right to bear arms, right? And that's exactly what it is. Don't forget that. American Second Amendment right. I always encourage y'all to get your CPLs. Just in case one of these leftist lunatic Antifa or whoever they are want to run up. You ain't gonna run up very long though, because you know when I got that act right, you're gonna act right. When I pull that act right out, you're gonna act right. Right? That's exactly what it is. Right? That's what we have to show. Like Trump said, through strength, right? We're gonna push it through strength, right? This is exactly what it is. And this is exactly what we're gonna be doing. Right? Through peace, through strength, and that's exactly what we're doing. But we're not gonna turn the other cheek either. Right? They over there clowning over there in Berkeley, California, and jumped on those senior citizens. These are cowards, ladies and gentlemen. And I always said, be careful in these gun-safe zones, whether they are or not. California is a commie country, even though it's a state, but it's still a communist country. Look at Gavin Knucklehead Newsom, right? Their gun laws over there are ridiculous, just like New York and Illinois, all these blue states. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to put these in conservative states like Texas. I bet you wouldn't have no problem there. You would have laid one of these Antifa out. You ain't gonna bring it there. You ain't gonna bring it to Florida. I'm telling you, if you guys from Turning Point, if you want to take my advice, stop having these Turning Point what we call gatherings, right? In these liberal cities. If it's gonna be aired on TV, do it in the red states. You want to have a better chance without going through all this. And Antifa ain't going there. They're already waiting on Antifa. I already know Florida don't play that. And they got the stand your ground law. Right? They got to stand your ground law in Florida. If any of these Antifa or whoever else come up on a person, a lot of these guys in Florida carry their guns just like Texas. Right? You got a lot of conservative red states that abide by the Constitution. And they will lay one of these guys straight out. Come running up with this bullshit. Only in the blue state you can get that shit off. You ain't dare going in the red state acting like you so big and bad. I bet you that, you know? You know what I'm saying? Talking about he ain't giving shit to the people. When your monkey ass is getting 2K if you live in America, you probably ain't even American. Shut the hell up. Everybody getting $2,000. You know where that $2,000 is coming from for the stupid people? It's coming out of the tariffs. This is what we call a dividend, a tariff dividend that's being given back to the people. For we've been ripped off by who? These low down ass, uniparty ass politicians that's been stealing money in America. Why? This is why they want to stop the tariffs. Trump ain't gonna stop the tariffs. We're gonna keep pushing on, right? This is a dividend that the American people are going to get. And it's a possibility, a big possibility, that we may get more dividends over the time coming. You ain't never seen the president this way. It ain't coming out of taxpayers' dollars. This ain't causing inflation. The central bank, which is the Federal Reserve, is causing inflation. Let's go ahead on and keep it real, right? Coming in this room being disingenuous, talking all this ish about President Trump, greatest president we had in our lifetime. And I stand on it for 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? His policies are bar none. You ain't never seen a president outperform than all of them. Look at him, looking like $1 million right now. You know, that's the type of president that I want. We didn't vote for his personality. We voted for his policies, you fool. Fuck his personality. Talking about his policies. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have any problems with his personality either. Trump don't give a fuck whether you like him or not. Just like with the world seeing right now. You either gonna get on board with the world, America is back. We stronger than ever before. Look at all the manufacturing jobs going to be coming in America. Honda just announced not too long ago that they're going to be bringing their plant in Indiana. They are building here. Honda, Toyota, they're all coming here. Germany, Volkswagen, they're all coming back here to America. Ain't no president did that. But Trump. Remember Clinton? Remember the outsourcing of jobs and how manufacturers were leaving America, putting all these regulations? Trump removed the regulations, right? And look what's happening now. We got semiconductors plants here in America now. We remember that chip shortage before? We ain't gonna have that problem. They're building ships here in America right now. And we have that bad F-47. That is the baddest I'm talking about the jet, fighter jet, that no other country have that technology. And that's a bad boy right there. America is back. It is the superiority of jets, as we're talking about. Jet airplanes. F-47, go Google it. Stealth capability on the F-47, better than the F-35, it's even better. The F-47 is that deal. And this all is made responsible for who? Trump. Trump understands America first. American people first. No other president mentioned about America first but Donald Trump, the greatest president we ever had in our lifetime. And that's a fact. And I stand 10 toes down on it. It is what it is with his policies, bar none. And let's go down to some of them. Why not? You know, why not? Because I love talking about Trump and his policies. It works for the American people. You know what I'm saying? Trump's policies, right, works for the American people. Right? Over here spitting out this rhetoric. Man, I ain't got time for that. We ain't gonna prove shit to you. We don't have to, you don't have no leverage. You don't have any type of economical pull. Democrats have been losing left to right. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Shit. Trump has been really doing this thing, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm loving it right now, too. Right? Since 2025, Trump, once again, ended the border that Biden, the catch and release, right? He still have his remain in Mexico, right? No more of these refugees coming over here. They are to be remain in Mexico until they're vetted. the energy and economy, right? Reversing Biden's what? Climate policies, which was a scam and a sham. Energy production permits, right? He withdrawed us from the Paris climate accord, right? Remember that scam? Even who? Bill Gates even admitted it that the Green New Deal was a scam. He admitted it after he's been cornered. He admitted it, right? Bunch of bullshit. Government and bureaucracy, right? Right? Look at this type of stuff. Freezing hiring of non-essential federal workers, right? And then the diversity, equity, inclusion, which is DEI. Trump did that. We don't need that anyway. You're going to make it off of your own merit. He addresses the censorship in government, the weaponization against political rivals. All this came from the left under Joe Biden, right? What about social and education policies, right? Defending sex as a biological binary, right? Which means, in other words, we only talk about two genders, one male, one female, right? These are the things that Trump got rid of. We don't need that shit, right? He done so many things for the veterans as well, the veteran affairs. The veterans are looking good right now. There should be no such thing as a veteran being homeless, right? Look at how the veterans were being treated, kicked in their ass for serving this country. And all we can do in return is not give them the respect and the admiration that they deserve. I love veterans, right? I love military folk. We all got family and friends in the military, right? This is what I'm talking about. This is what we signed up for. We didn't sign up for all this other bullshit coming from the left, all this propaganda lies that they speak and teach. How is that improving America? The stupid ass Kamala Harris went on a whole rant last year on her campaign talking about Donald Trump and ain't mentioned nothing how they could benefit America. Look at stupid Chuck Schumer and old spineless jellyfish Hakeem Jeffries, right? How in the hell can you have a policy when you attacking Trump all the time? Stupid idiots. Oh, stupid people, right? Boy, he's been tightening up in America, man. It's a beautiful thing. You know, he ended the birthright citizenship scam? And it is true. It was designated for who? Slave babies, descendants of slave babies. That's exactly what it was about, right? So I'm so glad that he did that. Nobody is going to ride for free as an immigrant under birthright citizenship. You know what I'm saying? That's why the blacks are waking up now and looking for themselves to see that that is true. Everything Trump been doing has been for the betterment of America. America first. You ain't heard nobody on the left. You ain't heard Obama talking about America first. He said change. That's what he said, and that is to be questionable. He said change. We don't know what that means. We found out what it meant afterwards. Yeah, he changed some shit, all right. You know what I'm saying? So when you come in here, like I said before, all is welcome. But know this, I'm not your typical type of conservative. I meet you, whatever you bring to me, I'm going to bring it back to you and some. You know, because right now, you just show how much of your ignorance and your intelligence are when you come in this room thinking that you can battle, talking about shit about Trump that you know nothing about. I know way more about his policies that he do. The stuff that I'm talking about, you can go and pull it up right now. It's documented. I'm not just making shit up off the top of my voice just to be making it up. These are factual things, how Trump have made America great again with the patriots in his circle and the people. This is exactly what it is. And like I always say, for the military folk that are listening, you honor your oath. You made an oath to protect this country, whether it's foreign or domestic, right? You made that oath, and police officers, sheriffs, you guys made an oath as well. You know what I'm saying? You made an oath. And I hope that these old cowardice ass police officers in Chicago, because you're looking very unfamiliar right now. And a lot of you don't even deserve to wear the police uniform because you have disgraced your unit. You have disgraced yourself and the American people. Let's just go there with that, right? So getting back on Trump, right? All the wonderful things of Trump, right? Trump have won once again. Supreme Court. There's so many wins, right? They can't fight against this. I'm talking about the liberals, man. They're more welcome to come in this room. They don't ask questions for understanding. They try to do an aha moment. They don't have any aha moments because Trump have a history of kicking their ass. You know what I'm saying? It's like that Lakers, right? When they were in their prime or whatever like that, had a history of just running through other teams. A winning streak on certain cities that they played against. And that's what Trump is. Trump is those Lakers, right? Or the Bulls, right? They got a winning streak, right? That's what it is. Who is your MPV? Is Donald Trump. That's your MPV. You know what I'm saying? Most valuable MVP, your most valuable player is Trump, right? That's exactly what it is. That's who I want on my team. I want a winner. He's the Michael Jordan, right? Of the presidency. Straight like that. Trump is the Michael Jordan of the presidency. I like that, man. Trump is the Michael Jordan. He is the one that have all the fucking winnings. And look at the Democrats. They are the sore losers. They remind me of those Bears out of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Look how bad they are right now. Right? So you got one that's winning, you got one that's losing. It's always a winner and always a loser. Right now, Trump has been winning. He said it. He said, we're going to be winning so much on the Democrats. He's going to teach teach the Republicans. He said, I'm going to teach the Republicans how to win. And ever since then, Trump has been winning, teaching these Republicans, being self-defeated, right? Wouldn't even fight. Don't even know how to fight. Trump said, fight, fight, fight. Even with the assassination attempt, Trump stood back up with that fist in the air. I said, that's my president right there, man. That's my president. He didn't pussy like a lot of these other people. Man, that been Hakeem Jeffries. Oh, no. I don't want to go back out there. Even Obama. Ducking man, Trump got more balls, more testosterone, more kahunas than all of the Democratic political males, right? That's the president that you want. He got big kahunas, right? And they got what? Marbles for kahunas. Ain't no woman gonna love a man that got marbles for no kahunas. Shit. Women spread for red. They don't spread for blue. They spread for red. Trump right now is the greatest president in our lifetime once again, right? Look at what's going to happen with that big, beautiful bill when it goes through next year, 2026. And what's all in it? A lot of great things in that big, beautiful bill. The one that the Democrats want to call the big, ugly bill. What's ugly is their policies. What's ugly is Obamacare. That's a ugly, ugly, ugly healthcare thing. Then give the American people no choice but Obamacare and penalize you up to $400 on your taxes for not having it. If that ain't fascism, I don't know what is. Fuck Obamacare and fuck him too. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I roll with a winner, right? The bullshit. I like Trump's thing in his in the clean CR. I looked through it. I like what he was doing. I even like what he's doing with RFK Jr. got the mercury out of the out of out of the actual immunization, right? We're talking about the vaccine is what I'm talking about. He got the mercury out of there. Mercury is a known poison. None of the Democrats done it. They never went war on GMOs and none of this stuff. It was under who? Trump, right? Trump. He did it. Trump's affordable health care is way better than Obama bullshit care. Pricing is going down, and prescription medicine is going down by 1,000%. He said so, and look what's happening. Things are starting to become cheaper now. What the people don't really realize, ladies and gentlemen, is that Trump is basically battling against the central bank, which is the Federal Reserve. I said it with his parallel economical thing that he's been doing. He's actually been battling and competing with the Federal Reserve. That doesn't do the Americans any good. As long as the Federal Reserve exists, there will be inflation, right? Until the Federal Reserve is toppled and eradicated, we're going to always see inflation in this country. And these are the hidden hand of the people that you really do not see that control the central bank, the Federal Reserve, like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and others, right? That Trump has been breaking their back because there is a great chance that Trump can get rid of the Federal Reserve Bank. And when that happens, ladies and gentlemen, well, we will have the debt would be satisfied, the $37 trillion debt would be satisfied. And not only that, we will have no inflation whatsoever. And what makes this possible is the tariffs that Trump is bringing in. Trillions of dollars of tariffs going to be coming into this country. And he's already in the right direction already. This is why they want to try to get rid of the tariffs right now. Because the Federal Reserve, which is the deep state central bank, they do not want any type of rivals. This is why they hate Trump so much. Keep in mind, they do control the media. They control a lot of politicians. They control a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, that we are slowly want to get rid of right now. Anybody that does not have the American people best interests at heart need to be removed. And that's exactly what Trump has been doing. Trump has been doing the damn thing, though. I don't have to sit up in here and argue and have debates with idiots when they can go and research this stuff for real. They don't want to research it. They want to come in my room, in my chat, and be disingenuous, let alone trying to troll somebody. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, all the wonderful things that Trump is doing. I love the fact how Trump charging these corporations. If you want to get an H-1B visa, right? These corporations got to pay $100,000 for each of them, right? I bet you they're not doing that. There's more H-1B visas coming out of India than ever before. And I'm glad that Trump is coming after these corporations because these corporations hurt the American people. We have engineers here in America that have gone to school. I'm going to back up you engineers because a lot of you are bright and smart. We need engineers, right? But what good is it if that they're going to just invest people in other countries like India, bringing them over here for cheap labor? They don't pay into our taxes. They're not American citizens. They got a work visa. They were just, this is what they do. Once again, it was Trump that stood by American people, charged $100,000 per H-1B visas. That's going to stop the influx of the Indian invasion. That's why a lot of Indians don't really like Trump either, to be honest. The ones that's in the other countries, they hate him, right? And I love how Trump also with the tariffs, he got the whole world to recognize that America, you're not gonna come over here and sell product and think that you're gonna just get out on the American people, and charge us tariffs up to 220%, right? What Canada was doing. That ain't no friend of ours. That's an enemy of us. I'm talking about the political people, not talking about the Canadian citizens. For say, I got friends that are Canadian. The ones I consider the enemies are the people in they Mark Carney and all these fuckers, Justin Trudeau and all the rest of them, right? They are the enemies of America, right? And the people that allowed it here in America are the enemy as well too. The Clintons are the enemy of America. Look at the shit that they've been doing. You can't hold that up and try to make it sound. That whole NAFTA thing was bullshit because it wasn't a fair treaty. Look who benefited: Mexico and Canada, and a lot of these other countries. We've been funding the world, ladies and gentlemen. Do y'all realize this? Trump stopped this nonsense, right? This is why we are far more respected now. When you go into these countries, you far more America, USA, USA. As I'm not a big fan of them and things like DJ Khaled, right? We the best. We the best. We the best right now. America, as Trump said, is the hottest country. We are the best country, the hottest country to be in right now. There's no country in the world that's outdoing America right now. With all of the tariffs that's coming in, we're about to go into the golden age once the Federal Reserve Bank has been removed. And it's a very great chance of that happening. Trump is a peace president, not a war president. Trump is going to go down in history waging war on the cartel. We never seen this before. These other people were in bed with the cartel, not Trump. Any ship in international water is going to get blown up to smithereens. Just like that. You bringing and running dope and drugs into America, you're going to get blown up as he should. Air or by sea or by land. However the cartel want it, that is what's going to happen. It's a beautiful thing. You ain't never seen a president act the way that Trump have acted. And this is why American people love Trump, just like I do. He's pushing back on all this fentanyl that's coming in here. You're seeing drug busts, raids, ICE, all this other stuff, man. Not only he's coming after South Americans, he's coming after any illegals in this country. If you came over here under false pretenses, you're going to be deported. Look at Ilhan Umar. They're processing her shit right now. She's going to be processed to be deported. What's his name? Zohan Mandami. They already investigating him too. And there's a big chance that he's going to be deported up on out of here, as they should. Anybody that came to America under false pretenses that want to wage war or levy war against American people is an enemy of America, and you should be deported. You should be criminally thrown in prison and deported at the same time. That's what should happen. So I'm not feeling sorry for none of these people. This is what I voted for. I'm very satisfied with President Trump and what he's doing. I don't have to know all the intricacies in regards to what Trump is doing. All I know is that he's doing a phenomenal job helping the American people get the American pride back. We got military parades and everything, the red, white, and blue. We're about to celebrate the Marines' 250-year anniversary, let alone our 1776 when we hit to 2026. It's a beautiful thing. So therefore, we have a lot of wonderful things to celebrate in America, right? We may not be as old as some of these other countries in the world, but I tell you what, we are the baddest and the most beautiful, and we have a beautiful American anthem. If you can't get by for what I'm saying for my words, then fuck you too, because you don't need to deserve to be no American. If you ain't got American pride, if you ain't patriotic, you don't need to be here. And to be really honest with you, I think the people that have been talking shit about Trump, they shouldn't even get the 2K at all. They should get that 2K to people that's deserving American versus all these hated ass Trump people. You don't need to get shit. You don't even need. If it was left up to me, if I could do it, you wouldn't get any of that 2K at all. This is 2K for people that paid into the taxes, right, and support America. You shouldn't get shit. You know what I'm saying? How about that? Shit, I know how to really make him mad, man. Don't give him shit. He gonna still be talking shit with a 2K check. Either take that check and a slap in the face is what should happen. You know? Ain't nobody bad than Donald Trump. Nobody outdoing Donald Trump. Greatest president of all time, man. This goes way beyond the Republican. In fact, Trump have revamped the Republican Party, pushing a lot of criminals out of the Republican Party. And want to sit up here and call this man a criminal. He already had billions. This is a multi-billionaire. The one that they went after Trump and debanked him. The banks went after Trump. He's been deplatformed off of Twitter. They went after Trump. They invaded Mar-a-Lago. Went after his children. This is the greatest comeback in American history, man. And I'm going to talk about that more often. Eric Trump has a book right now called Under Siege. It's a bestseller. I suggest that you guys go out and buy that book. I'm going to get it myself. Eric Trump, right? Should get that book. All right, guys. So it looked like I got myself a ride. I have to go pick this person up. But yeah, man, Trump is he's the greatest president. And not just the baddest as in good, but the greatest president in our lifetime. Obama can't hold a candle to Trump. That's a fact. You know, can't hold a candle to Trump. Any other presidents in our lifetime cannot hold a candle to Trump. And I say that with everything I love, 10 toes down. Can't hold a candle to Donald J. Trump, the greatest president of all time. And guess what? The Republican Party is not paying me to say this. I'm not being paid to say what I'm saying. But guess on the left, who's getting paid to say what they're saying on the left? I'm not getting paid at all. They're not paying me $8,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting paid $8,000 at all a month to have a social media channel to spit out rhetoric and bullshit and lies. That's not happening. Republicans don't do that. We do this because of our love for this country and what Trump has been doing. Great. Okay? So let's go ahead and get it right. Get it right. Be right back. Got to use the restroom first. Okay. Yep. So as I said, Trump is the greatest president that we have right now in our lifetime. He's gonna go down in history. They're gonna put him up on Mount Rushmore. I can see that. You know, right? That's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, So yeah, so other than that though, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's why I love talking about this stuff. Cause I said, man, we got the shutdown is over with. 8 Democrats, right, was in lockstep with the Republicans to lift the shutdown. So what does that mean with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries? All that threatening that Hakeem Jeffries trying to do, talking about he need to continue with the shutdown. They're about to kick Chuck Schumer's behind right on out of there. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have control over his people. Oh, he didn't have control. He didn't have control. It wasn't about that. Those Democrats woke up. I knew Fetterman was already on board with it. And I like John Fetterman. I'm not against a person that's just with the D next to their name. You know, I like John Fetterman. He's the one that actually has a lot of sense. John Fetterman and a few others had a lot of sense when it comes down to this. They did the right thing by voting lockstep with the Republicans, and this is why things are going back normal. They're gonna try to overlook the actual Affordable Care Act in December, but like it is, we already got a clean CR. We already got everything that was already been hammered out. We don't need no extra pork added on nothing. They don't have the leverage. We have the leverage. It's just what it is. It is what it is. I don't mind people coming in this room having an opinion, but what you're not going to do is that you're not going to be disingenuous coming in here. Because like I said, if you were really about something, and if you want to do your research yourself, you would know what a lot of things I'm saying is actually factually true. Right? That's exactly what it is. I notice I'm not getting a whole lot of pushback right now. I know that much. Not getting a lot of pushback. Because like I said, if I was really on the take, I can actually create a channel right now denouncing Trump, which I would never do. The ones that's doing this for the money, I already went over that on my other live where I talked about a lot of these influencers that are paid by dark money, which lead to the Democratic Party, and those are what you call your Democratic shields. They are shields. They come in here as the controlled opposition, spitting out lies and trying to prop up Affordable Care Act, Obama bullshit like it's so great. When we was being ripped off on a lot of money, didn't have no choice for real affordable health care. And if you didn't have it, as I said earlier, you were penalized $400. Notice that they don't say stuff like that. And then what about what about the PAC, the super PAC and the donors, right? That invest a lot of money, right, into these politicians. And they also have stocks in this Medicare stuff, made them rich. Obamacare made the medical healthcare rich. United Healthcare rich. They made them rich, right? They don't never talk about that. Talk about how many people are going to suffer. No, they're not, because if you read the clean CR bill, he got it covered. Trump's thing is better, right, than the bullshit that the left are talking about. You can come in this room and lie all you want, but it's the truth. Obamacare ain't shit. Because if it was so great, people would be able to afford it. He didn't leave no choice for you to afford it. Now, he just said it what it was. We'll be charged by the premiums up to wazoo. And y'all know it's a truth. It's true. Wasn't affordable for the rich, but it wasn't affordable for us. We're going to have the best economy ever. We got the best jobs that are returning to America than ever. We got the best minds in America, right? We got the best military in America, right? We're going to have the best food in America. It's coming. So other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get off of this live, in this live. But I just wanted to talk about this. I've been talking for almost an hour. And that's all I need these days, to say what I want to say and basically go from there. You know, if there's comments being made, I only see maybe like 2 in a spam. Other than that, that's just been mainly it. But other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, from this day forward, I'm going to be pushing more about Trump and more of his policies, more of the things. And MAGA do not allow this these what they call psyops and controlled opposition to divide you, because you got enough people on there like Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, right? Tucker Carlson, he ain't slick. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Don't be fooled by these people, right? Don't be fooled. They all being paid, as I said before, right? I'm not being paid, but I have a dog in this fight still because I live in America. I want America to win. When you want America to win, there's no pushback at all. But I appreciate you guys being on the channel. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.